What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre and I'm going to be doing my review for the new movie, Scary Movie 6, or also known as Scary Movie because they took the title and just kept the same title as the original, kind of like Halloween and Scream 5 did, and everything, which I call that one Scream 5, so just like with Scream 5, I'm calling it Scary Movie 6 because that's what it is, and everything. But, 26 years after outrunning a suspiciously familiar masked killer, the core four are back in the killer's crosshairs, and no horror movie IP is safe. So this was exactly what I wanted it to be. Like, I've been seeing so much negativity about this movie and stuff. Like, I don't know why people are expecting so much out of this and everything, but I thought it was exactly what it was going to be and what I expected it to be. Everything. I will say that it is the best Scary Movie since the second one to me, easily, and everything, even though I do like Scary Movie 3 quite a bit. I do have some love for that one. I don't feel like it's as good as this one or the first two, and everything. It was great seeing everyone back together again and everything. It was also just really, really great having Marlon and Shawn Wayans back in here and everything. Shorty is just as funny as always and everything. I mean, maybe he was a little bit funnier in the first two and everything. Of course, part of that's just being older and stuff, but he's still absolutely hilarious, and Marlon Wayans is just absolutely perfect. I will say that Shawn is still really great as Ray, but I don't feel like Ray had as much time to shine in this movie as all the other characters and stuff. And I also do kind of feel like Shawn didn't have his heart in it as much as everybody else did. And everything. I think he was more in there because he felt like he had to be and stuff. Like he wasn't as energetic and stuff, and that could also just chalk up to being older too and everything. But he was fine and stuff in here. Everything. Anna Faris is great as Cindy once again. I absolutely love her. She's perfect in the role. She was the only thing that made 3 and 4 watchable and stuff. She was the only reason I've ever been able to rewatch those and everything. She's great. And Regina Hall as Brenda is once again great too. Having them together again is awesome and everything. So it was great having them too. They carried the franchise when the Wayans brothers weren't there and stuff, and they were good in this one. The rest of the supporting cast were once again great too. They pretty much bring back everybody from the first two. And everything. Gil Weatherstorm and Doofy are back from the first one. And everything, once again played by Cherry O'Terry and Dave Sheridan, and they're both just absolutely hilarious and everything. I think what they do with Doofy in this one was really good and really funny. I like how they change him from being the villain at the end of the first movie to being a good guy again and stuff, and I liked what they did with that stuff and everything, and the explanation for Doofy still being Doofy and stuff is also really funny, and everything. And I also love that they brought Greg back and everything. In the first one, he's kind of like this bully jerk and everything. In this one, he's kind of a loving father to a trans kid and everything, and he's just really, really funny and everything. And I love the baby dick joke that they brought back for this movie, and when Ghostface kills him, he cuts it off and stuff like that. That stuff just had me dying laughing and everything. I don't want to say too much about the jokes in this movie because I don't want to spoil it, but there is a lot in here that are just absolutely mile a minute funny, like you would expect out of a scary movie. The new characters are all pretty good. The main one that stood out was Olivia Rose Keegan's character, Sarah, who is Cindy's oldest daughter and everything. She's kind of making fun of Sam from Scream and everything, Les Barrera's character. But she is very much Cindy's daughter. She really does a great job at impersonating Anna Faris and making you believe that she's her daughter and everything. Like, out of all the new characters in here, I hope that she does carry and come back for Scary Movie 7. Everything. The other ones I would like to see too, like the Greg Wayans and stuff too. I thought that the Brenda's kids were also really likable and stuff too, but especially Olivia Rose Keegan. Out of all the kid characters, I think she was the best one because she really felt like Cindy's daughter and stuff. They did perfect casting with her, but if they don't bring the characters back, I also understand because of the way this movie ended and what they kind of imply they're going to do going into the future. But I think all of the new ones were fun in their roles, though, and they were all really funny. But especially Olivia Rose Keegan. And I think the jokes, like I said, they're a mile a minute, and they had me dying laughing. There were so many awesome, hilarious moments that I really want to get into, but I also don't want to spoil the movie and stuff. But there are so many awesome, hilarious moments throughout this movie and everything. And I do feel like they pushed the envelope. I do agree with people that they could have gone harder, that they could have went further with some of the jokes and everything, and some of the stuff that they had planned that they couldn't do because the studio wouldn't let them, I think would have really pushed the boundaries and made the movie a little more popular than it is and everything. But I think for what they go with in here, they do a good job and everything. I still enjoy the movie and everything. And I also did not expect this from a scary movie, but I actually kind of got unexpectedly emotional a lot of times, mainly just getting to see the old cast back together and stuff, and seeing Marlon Wayans back as Shorty, because like I said, he's always been one of my favorite comedy characters ever since I was a young kid, because this was one of the first movies that really got me into comedies. It was the Scary Movie franchise. It shaped, Scary Movie and Family Guy really shaped my sense of humor and stuff and everything. And this one unexpectedly did have some pretty good emotional moments and stuff, but not really trying to either, though. Like this doesn't try to be an emotionally heavy movie whatsoever. Everything that was more, I think, a me thing than the movie itself and everything. But yeah, I love how they poke fun at everyone, just like with the original movies. Nobody is safe and everything. And like I said, I do feel like they could have gone harder with some of the jokes, but I do like that they don't leave anybody out and stuff. Everybody gets made fun of and stuff. And like, I'm not really big on them adding political jokes in comedy movies nowadays. A lot of times they just don't land, and politics is so overdone in comedies and stuff. But I actually thought that a lot of the ones they had in here were funny. Like they took shots at both sides, which, like I said, I'm not really into politics, so I don't really care too much about either side, to be honest with you. So none of the jokes really were anything to me and stuff. Like I'm used to way more offensive humor than what this movie gave us and stuff, so I wasn't really offended by anything. I had fun with it. I knew what I was getting into. I knew it was going to be a fun, dumb time, and they didn't lose that part of the Scary Movie essence. Like I said, I feel like a lot of the stuff that made those first two movies great is still in here and everything, but they also don't rely too heavily on nostalgia. This movie does have a lot of pop culture references to today's society and stuff, which is also what I expected and everything. Like the Scary Movies always represented the time that they came out in and everything, and that's not really anything new with this movie. And it was just exactly what I expected and wanted out of it. I do think it could have been a little bit more vulgar. They could have gone a little bit further with some of the jokes and stuff, but that's really the only thing that I agree with on the criticism of this movie. Like it could have gone harder with the jokes and stuff, but what we got was still pretty darn good and stuff and everything. It still went harder than a lot of comedy movies are willing to go nowadays and stuff. So I did really enjoy it. Like I said, I think that there's room for improvement, because the next movie they won't be relying on nostalgia. They can pick some movies and to focus on making fun of, and I have a feeling we're going to be seeing Scary Movie 7 making fun of the Backrooms and Obsession quite a bit. I have a feeling and everything, which would be pretty cool though and everything. Like I said, I'm not really wanting the franchise to go away and everything. If we don't get any more after this one, I'm not going to be terribly upset either. Like Scary Movie is one of those franchises where I feel like you can continue it or you don't have to. It's one of those that each movie is its own thing and you don't have to continue it. But if they want to, I'm not really totally against it or anything like that. I would rather see the Wayans brothers do more original comedies and stuff like that, bring back more original comedy with their style of humor. But I'm okay with with this movie and this franchise continuing and everything too as well and everything. So like I said, I think there's potential for the franchise to go forward and everything as well. But yeah, so I'd say I'd give Scary Movie 6 an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, and I was satisfied with the movie. Like I went in expecting it to feel like a movie from today with some callbacks to the old movies and everything. And they didn't rely on the callbacks near as much as I thought, which is another huge positive for this movie for me. And also another huge positive is it doesn't rely heavily on potty humor. There are some gross jokes and stuff, but it's not on the same level as some of the other movies, even Scary Movie 2, as far as the gross jokes go. But all in all, I really enjoyed this movie. And the only other thing that I guess I would say is a little bit of a negative is they don't do enough with the character of Hanson, the guy with the little hand and everything. Like, he's only in one scene. I heard he's also maybe in a couple other scenes that I didn't see, and everything, because this movie does have a post-credit scene that I did not see. I heard that he's in it and everything, but I do feel like they could have done more with him. So if he's one of your favorite characters from the first two movies and you were going in wanting to see a lot more of him, just know he's only in like one or two scenes and everything. But that was really the only big thing that I was very disappointed with in this movie, because I was hoping for a lot more of him and everything. But yeah, so anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Scary Movie 6, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody. I just want to say thank you for watching this video and everything. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like and subscribe and share this video with your friends and get more people going, help the channel grow. I really appreciate it, and thank you all, and have a good day.